Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, blogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments, vlogs such as
5 Minutes with the G,
the Straight Shootin View,
Coaching with JBK,
audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Podomatic, Spotify,
Mixcloud
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook
and our official website www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat,
the pitch is where we sleep,
and the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then. I can see you now.
Welcome to
the Straight Shootin View.
Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Straight Shootin LJA and welcome to another episode of the Straight Shootin View. Now, what I want to talk about today is kind of why I've got this shirt on. International football and international travel. Now I'm going to call this Brazil v Argentina and the COVID cluster. Because, oh my God, where do we start? Well, let's start with this. The UK have got their red list, amber list, green list and all that kind of stuff in terms of COVID-19 and where people can and can't travel to and where you need to quarantine upon your return and all that. If you go to certain countries in the red list, then you actually can't go to them. Or if you've got a holiday going to an amber list country, you have to come back and quarantine. Anyway, bit of a circus. The UK have got it, not every other country has. But that's where the issue kind of comes into it, because the COVID cluster during Brazil-Argentina was actually borderline hilarious. Now, just to give a bit of context, 11 minutes into Brazil v Argentina, Anvisa, the Brazilian health authority, come onto the pitch and they're like, right, you're getting deported right now. Pack your crap, you're going back to England. It's like, wait, what is going on here? Because basically I think it was about an hour or two before the game, Anvisa, the Brazilian health authority, basically I think it was actually FIFA they let know, and the authorities around Brazil v Argentina, the World Cup qualifier, know that you've got 4 Argentinian players who have breached COVID protocols. And it's like, right, they need to get out and get out now. So somehow they've slipped through the net. More on that later. But for me, it's one of them it did not reflect well on the game of football for that to happen. Because as I said, they let the game started. So what, officials didn't know that these guys, two Aston Villa players and 2 Tottenham players. I think Buendia was one of them. There's a couple of others as well. And it's like, you let 4 guys slip through the net. And it's like, okay. But to give even further context, we've got to take another step back. Now, that step back is the Premier League. They said that clubs agreed on it, that clubs do not have to let their players go for internationals, release them for internationals. Now, that club v country, that debate has raged on for a long time. Check out Jamie, aka JBK, Coach JBK, my fellow Pitch Talk co-host. Check out his vlog, Club v Country Debate on Coaching with JBK. Check out that because he delves into this topic as well. But I'm just going to take it from a little bit of a different viewpoint. Now, with me, it's one of them ones where the Premier League saying, yeah, you don't have to release your players because of the COVID situation. Brazil is a red list country, and I think with the Brazilians, they see the UK as a red list country. Okay, cool, fair play. It sounds like we're all in agreement there. But Brazil v Argentina, first match between the two sides since the Copa America final, and there's a bit of tension running around it. There's a conspiracy theory in there too, but more on that later. But it's one of them where it's like, okay, so most clubs, Liverpool included, did not let players travel. It's like, was it Fabinho, Alisson, and Bobby Firmino? It was like, nah, you're not travelling. And you know what? From a club standpoint, I can actually understand that. Because at the end of the day, if something happens to those players, whether they come back with a positive test, or even if they don't, because they would have to quarantine for 10 to 14 days upon their return to the UK, they would have missed games against Leeds. There's a League Cup game in there as well. They would have also missed a Champions League opening game against AC Milan. These are big games. I think it was like 2 Premier League games, a League Cup game, and also a Champions League game that those 3 guys would have been ruled out of. And bear in mind, that's just for Liverpool. I remember Alisson, one of the top goalkeepers in the Premier League. Fabinho, one of the top holding mids in the game. And Bobby Firmino, critical to our top 3/top 4, if you include Jota as well, front 4. So these are not like 2-bit J-Brone players. These are not squad players where it's like, all right, go, it doesn't really matter. No. These are critical players through the spine of our team. So, of course, there's major liability there. And if one of those players comes down with COVID, who gets affected most? Not just the player, but Liverpool Football Club. And the other clubs who have Brazilians and Argentinians in their squad, such as Tottenham and Aston Villa, which is why it was even more baffling that they let them go. It's one of them where it's like, you've got a lot more to lose, because say something happens to that player out there and they then have to stay out there. Like, look at the Naby Keita situation in in Guinea, where it's like, oh my God, there's actually a coup there. Why is that match even taking place? I think it was Guinea versus Morocco. And it's like, why is that match even taking place? Mate, there's a military coup going on in the country. FIFA, why are you forcing players to go out there in the middle of a coup? Are you stupid? But also as well, it's like, for me, coming back to COVID, because the military coup is a completely different story. It's one of them was, matches should not be taking place in red list countries. Leave it there. Azerbaijan during the European Championships. Why are matches still going on there? It was a red list country. Why? And then you delve in deeper, and then you see that certain countries are doing red, amber, and green list, but some other countries are not. And then therein is where the cluster is, because there's no universal COVID protocol where it's like, all right, you can't travel here, if you're coming from there, or if you're going to there, you're not allowed to go there. It's not even universal. So there's a cluster already. And FIFA, we know they're all about money. Same with UEFA, all about money. But then FIFA coming out and making threats and saying, right, if these Liverpool players play, or any other Brazilian players, because there's a 5-day ban, if any of these players play, we're gonna issue suspensions and fines. It's like, wait, what? For not releasing our players to go to a COVID-19 hotspot from a country that is supposedly a COVID-19 hotspot. And this is not FIFA rulings. This is government rulings saying that, well, that's a red list country, that's a red list country, you shouldn't be going there at all. This is governmental, so it's not even the club trying to dictate to UEFA, FIFA, and the FA. This is one of them ones. It's actually government rules. So it's not as if it's the club making up the rules, which is why FIFA potentially like fining clubs and all that for not letting them go is stupid. But then the Premier League needed to step up and be like, no, you know what? We're protecting clubs in this FIFA. No, we're going against you. The FA needed to step in as well. As guardians of the game, the FA should have stepped in too. Because if you let players go to a red list country and then come back, even if they quarantine, it's one of them was, there's an inherent risk in there. If they've got, say they come back with COVID, and it's one of them ones like they just so happen to infect other people, it's like there you go. There's a risk and a liability within that. Because remember, coming back to what I mentioned earlier about how can 4 players slip through the net, apparently those 4 players, 2 from Villa and 2 from Spurs, apparently, I think it was either 2 of them or all of them, lied about where they came from. So instead of saying, yeah, we've come from the UK, and having to quarantine, which they did not do, it's on them was they've lied and said they come from somewhere else. And again, I thought to myself when I read that, it was like, wait, hold on a minute. How can they lie about where they've come from? You could check their plane tickets. How easy is it to check their itineraries? That's where it starts begging belief to me. And there is, as I said earlier, there is a little bit of a conspiracy theory where it's like, well, did Brazil tip off the health authority Anvisa and say to them, yeah, make sure you do this like about an hour or two before kickoff. So we haven't really got time to kind of maneuver and let Argentina get other players in to replace. Let's make sure they've got a weakened team. Because we're still smarting from that Copa America defeat a few weeks ago. There was a conspiracy theory of that. But also as well, one of the other things that really annoyed me is that FIFA were threatening other clubs, and Anvisa and the Brazilian FA were trying to threaten clubs such as Liverpool, among others. But then it's like, oh yeah, Everton get a pass. Wait, what? It's like Everton get a pass because they got a good relationship with the Brazilian FA. What? No. If this really is about COVID protocol, why are they getting a pass and they're not getting punished for release of Richarlison? And you see where this starts to annoy me about this double standard crap. And that's where FIFA are an absolute circus, because they shouldn't be letting that happen. They shouldn't be letting certain, like the Brazilian FA, say to Everton, yeah, don't worry about Richarlison. You let him go for the Copa America. You let him go for the Olympics too. You're all good. It's these other ones. No. Everybody with COVID and traveling, everybody is a risk. No matter what you look like, taste like, smell like, it doesn't matter. No matter what your race, creed, gender, you are a risk. You can't be applying double standards and saying, oh yeah, that club's all right. We're not gonna like try and get FIFA to punish them because we're cool with them. No, everybody needs to be treated the same way. None of this good old boy network crap, because that's how you end up getting a spike in COVID cases in the first place. So it's one of them where it's like, it was an absolute farce. It was a circus. And to me, it's one of them, as I said, you could check the itineraries of those 4 players, but also as well, ain't you supposed to submit team sheets at least 45 minutes to an hour before a match? How have these guys been allowed to start the game and then the authorities come down? How is this even possible? And I said, it's not even like it's a friendly. It was a World Cup qualifier for next year's World Cup. And it's like, Christ on a bike. Nobody came out of this cluster looking good. That's why I'm saying Brazil v Argentina in the COVID cluster, no one came out looking good. Everybody came out looking like idiots. FIFA, idiots. Anvisa, clowns. Brazilian FA, double standards, clowns. Argentina, trying to pull a fast one, clowns. These 4 players, oh, I didn't come from there, I came from there, clowns. Everybody came off looking like utter morons. And I said, FIFA, top of that list of morons, as per usual. God damn it, as per usual. You'd think that the powers that be would be able to keep track of 4 players. And I said, you can literally go back and be like, well, no, here's their plane trip. Here's where they came from. Their clubs have corroborated where they've come from as well. And it's like, Christ on a bike, man. But you know what? In terms of against FIFA, I was hoping. It was rescinded, like literally what, hours? I think like 12 hours before Liverpool were due to play Leeds. Then it was like the Brazilian FA and FIFA were like, oh no, don't worry about it, it's cool. And it's like, well, what was all that furore about then? About potentially banning players and punishing clubs? What was that all about? If you were just going to drop it hours before a match, like what is this? Some sort of idiotic FIFA power play just to show we've got the power, we can do stuff at any time, and the bloody Brazilian FA is trying to flex whatever muscle they have. See, that's where it really gets me. Again, that's where the conspiracy theory kind of comes in. It's like, nah, don't worry about it, you're cool. And it's like, and everybody else is all sweating. Oh, are they going to ban? Is there a five day ban? What's going on? God Damn it. Clusters. Comment section is below. I want to know what you think. Brazil v Argentina and Anvisa sending authorities in and getting the match cancelled after 11 minutes. I've questioned whether or not the Premier League has a plan B in terms of cancelling matches due to COVID, but bloody hell, it's one of them ones. It looks like FIFA ain't got a clue either. Should players be even playing games in red list or red zone countries? Should they? I personally don't think so, but I want to know what you think. Comment section is below. I have been Straight Shootin LJA. Remember, you can catch our podcast on our official website, www.pitch-talk.com. You can catch, so many other places. youtube.com/Pitch Talk is where you can catch our videos. Videos including the Straight Shootin View, which you're watching right now, Coaching with JBK, 5 Minutes with the G, and many other vlogs, and also special feature videos such as Pitch Talk at the SAL Cup, Senior Cup Final 2021. Also, you can catch our podcast on Podbean, Podomatic, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Verbal as well, at GETVURBL, Get Verbal on Twitter. Check them out. We are Verbal Ambassadors, verbal.com ambassadors, and we are proud to be so. You know what? At Pitch Talk on Instagram as well. Check out vlog previews there, pictures, and other stuff too. Other fun stuff as well. At Pitch Talk on Twitter. Tweet with us, follow us, see what we are up to. Facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. Again, that website is www.pitch-talk.com. I have been Straight Shootin LJA, and until next time, I want to know what your view is on this club v country route. Should clubs be forced to release players to go and play matches in red list countries? Comment sections below. See you next time, peeps.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution.
Check out the official Pitch Talk website.
www.pitch-talk.com